Peace and love, everyone. Welcome to Moonlit Monday with Moonlight Rah. And tonight we continue the Goddess series, Gods of the Warrior Goddess series. Tonight we're going to bring to you some goddesses that are going to touch into, as the rest of them have, specific characteristics that we all carry. See, the gods are the archetypes to us, and they are flawed just as we are. And tonight we're going to speak to you about the warrior goddesses continues on. However, we're going to talk about the petty goddesses. See, a lot of us have become too righteous to where we forget that we too are petty on the left-hand path. We seem to want to just be so holier than thou on the left-hand path. But that's all still a part of the program. And see, earlier tonight, an enchantress, the oracle goddess Ja, and as I call her, the shamanic goddess, Imani, spoke on how for decades and centuries, the woman and the divine feminine energy was in reverse. We were programmed to believe that the masculine energy was superior to the feminine energy, to believe that we were inferior to man, that man is more powerful than us. However, we are the nurturers. We are the life givers, the birthers. We know all of this. We are that perfect imperfection as we each march to the drum of our own beats. And see, while we all are trying to find ourselves and find our place in this cosmic arena, and we're all becoming more so than just a conscious community. We are becoming the cosmic family, the intergalactic beings that we were born into this realm to be. We all have learned that there is no right or wrong as we have been programmed to believe. We all have learned what exactly heaven and hell is and how heaven and hell resides in us, even in our chakra systems. We have learned that we are both light and dark, angel and demon. We have learned what it is to allow ourselves to be free. However, sometimes we are still limited in that freedom as goddesses, which is the reason why this series was so important. For you to be able to look at the goddesses, some you know, some you don't. The primordial goddesses have all been forgotten. However, they rise to be seen, to be heard. They rise because we are now honoring them. See, we've all honored different parts of them in the popular deities and entities. Those are popularized aspects of the primordial goddess, as you learned when we started to break down the Mamiwata, the Inanas, the Peles, the Kalis, the Durgas. You began to see aspects of the popularized deity in the primordial. And tonight, we're going to let you know that petty side that we all have. Oh yeah, there's goddesses for moments such as that. Tonight I have with me on the panel, and I have the honor and the privilege to be in the midst of such divine supremacy. I have the oracle goddess JaMila in the cipher. Peace and love to you, beloved.
Peace and love to my beloved sister Chari. Thank you so much for having me here on your panel tonight. And this is indeed such a great topic. It falls right in line with the time, and it falls right in line what our beloved sister was given to give to us because of a time we are in. And to be a part of this panel to awaken the sleeping goddesses that people have forgotten, the primordial goddesses that has been maimed and scorned and tormented throughout history, and to bring them back up and to resurrect them, and they are so happy that we're doing this. So thank you so much, Chari, for having us bring up or come into notice, bring into the 3D, bring into existence the primordial gods, the rulers of the indigenous, of the cosmos, the ones that paved the way, the ones that shout and just want everybody to know the truth about them. It is an honor for me to be a part of this panel and to assist in the discussion, and also take note and understand that their blood runs through our veins. The energy that they have still reigns true. And this is such a series that you were able to expand upon and invite us all on this panel. And I, again, am honored. Thank you again for having me. And I can't wait till we get into the petty goddesses, because all of us have a petty bone, in our makeup.
Absolutely, absolutely, we do. Even though, as I stated, a lot of us want to deny that because we've been told that, we aren't supposed to be petty, that, you can't do things in being petty. But sometimes being a petty God is the only way to get out of the situation. Sometimes being a petty God is exactly what they need. Because remember, we can't give someone something that their energy doesn't call upon now, can we? So if you call upon the petty goddess shall appear. I want to introduce the next goddess on this panel, the Shamanic Goddess, Imani Infiniti. Peace and love to you, beloved. Thank you for being on the panel.
Peace and love, beautiful people. Peace and love to the goddess Chari. Thank you so much. I always love this time, and I always love this night. I love to sit amongst the goddesses and discuss goddesses and bring them out of the darkness into the light, so that as goddesses, we know who we can tap into, who we can call on, although we can call on both sides. It's just sometimes we just want someone that we can see in that arena that bring forth what's in us, someone that we can associate with, someone that we can have a reflection of. So I really, 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 really love this time. I appreciate being here. And I thank you so much for having me on this panel, because I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love having you on as well, beloved. And I'm going to also bring to the forefront the mystic goddess herself, the one who handles all the media, the creativity, the arts, research and development. The mystic goddess, Seraphinix. Peace and love to you, beloved.
Peace and love.
Thank you for
Peace
being
and
on.
love. Peace and love. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to expound on something that Jai had touched on just a second ago. The thing is that we have to remember, as we bring up the names of these goddesses, some premortal, some a little bit closer to our time now. However, we have to understand that these are the gods and goddesses that our forefathers and foremothers worshipped. These are the gods and goddesses that were taken from our ancestors. These are the gods and goddesses that formed us. They are the ones that formed our morality. They are the ones that gave us the energy to survive during all of those dark ages. And it's just a privilege and an honor to be here, to be able to share their stories and share their profiles with all of us, so we can recognize the part of them that's in us. And if you hear a name of a goddess and you hear her attributes and you recognize some of that in yourself, just know that that's in your DNA. It's in your DNA to attach to these goddesses, to attach to these energies, because they belong to you. They are you. So I'm just honored to be here. I love all our cosmic family. I love that we're everybody's aunties, and I just have a great time talking to you, goddesses. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And see, I touched on this one time before in one of the early ones. I believe it was the first part of this series, where I explained the importance of showing to you what four powerful goddesses working and operating and learning and growing in their own self-supremacy looks like, to bridge those gaps between us. As goddesses, there is plenty of division. And as we were preparing for the cipher, we were speaking upon this, how there's division within us. But the division was part of the programming that was put inside of us. And as Goddess Seraphinix touched on, these goddesses that we are bringing to you, while a lot of you may have heard of them and a lot of you may have not, and the primordial goddess is something that we are all learning. As she said, these are the goddesses, if we're going to go there for a second, these are the goddesses that rode over with our ancestors. These are the goddesses that the goddesses of our ancestors on Master's plantation was calling out to, and things were happening. So much so that they bridled the mouth of the goddess to keep her from speaking. Because the power behind the words of the goddesses were making things shift in their 3D world. These are the goddesses that were passed down to us from generation to generation. The first goddess that I want to get into for this evening's topic and this evening's cipher is the goddess Athena. And the goddess Athena is the goddess of wisdom, strategic warfare, not just warfare, strategic, which means she sat down and she calculated her moves. She had a strategy behind everything that she did. She didn't blindly go into war. She had a strategy behind her. She's the goddess of justice, law, courage, arts, craft, and skill, and is the female counterpart of Ares, the daughter of Zeus. And this goddess was so powerful that she is the only goddess that does not have a mother. No, you heard me. She don't have a mother because she was birthed through the pineal gland of Zeus and came out in her own armor, ready for war. Now see, what I want to do with that right there is I want to bring you into a remembrance view. See, you were birthed through a womb and you came through a portal. But this you that stands before you right now, it took you some time to get here. It took you some aligning of your chakra system to get here. It took you some understanding to get here, to light up each chakra one by one, to learn to spin it. And once you became awakened, you awaken when that pineal gland is decalcified and when it's open. And when it's open, you are birthed through the pineal gland yourself. So understand something, goddess. That goddess that you were on the right-hand path is not who you are on the left-hand path. Through your awakening, you have been birthed all over again. And this goddess, Athena, she's the goddess of wisdom, which tells you that she's not ditzy, she's not dumb by a long shot. Have any of the goddesses that we've brought to you shown you any side of ditziness, inferiority, self-esteem complexes? They don't have any of that. They don't even know what those words mean. So neither should we. Neither should you. I'm going to pass this over to the Shamanic Goddess, Imani, to touch on the goddess Athena.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and touch on this. You know, why was it that she was birthed through the pineal gland? Also a portal. But what is the reason for the pineal gland being the place of birth for her? Think about the power that was given to her at birth. Think about the power that came with her from being birthed from that place, and how wonderful it was that she was birthed as a goddess. Because, see, he could have birthed a god, but why did the God birth a goddess? Why did he birth a goddess at that time from his pineal gland? Because we know most stories tell us that even in olden times, that if it wasn't a daughter, a son, they just threw her to the side. Oh, we want a son, we want a son, we want a son to carry down our birthright. We want a son, we want a son, we want a son to carry on our name. But he decided when he gave birth to her that she was going to be a goddess, because there was power in that. There was already power in the fact that she came through the pineal gland, but then it was extra added power. He know that someone needed to be nurturing, right? Someone needed to nurture, because we can nurture ourselves, right? Someone with wisdom, strength, and power, but also someone who can give birth to these things. Because a lot of times people act like they don't understand the power of a goddess and the role that she plays in life. But in the life of most men, I can't think of one man who can say in his life a woman did not have his back. So what better way to have a woman have your back than it to be your daughter, who you birthed out of your pineal gland with wisdom and power and understanding. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to our beloved goddess Chari LaMone.
Excuse me for a second, Chari. I just wanted to add on to that what what the goddess Imani just said. As far as Zeus giving birth to her through the pineal gland, I just want to bring to your remembrance those of you that are aware of the Bible, those of you that have studied the Bible, you know that wisdom, the spirit of wisdom, the Holy Spirit, is considered a feminine energy. And in the beginning, it was Source and his wisdom. Now, to the Romans and to the Greeks, Zeus or Jupiter is Source, right? So here we have Athena, his wisdom, being birthed through his pineal gland. She is his left hand. She is his right hand. She gives him the knowledge that he needs in order to conquer his foes. She builds him up. And we also know that Holy Spirit is also known as Sophia. They call Sophia wisdom. And if we go back even further, Sophia is also known as Lilith, the scorned one, the woman scorned. Now, of course, they turned Lilith's story into, oh, she's a demon and she is a succubus and she has sex with men in their sleep and all of this. But let's really look at what she was and what she is. She is wisdom incarnate. She was the one that listened to Lucifer and took the fruit, because she said, hell, I'm not about to be out here blind, crippled and crazy and at the mercy of, so I want to know what's being withheld from me. She demanded to know, and she would not submit. Submission is taught to us through this matrix. Submission is taught to us. We're taught so many things that divide us, so many things that keep us from really uniting, because if the people unite together, we're an unstoppable force. You're a universe all of on your own. All within yourself, you are a universe. So what happens when different universes come together? You become a powerhouse that cannot be stopped. I just wanted to add that little bit. She got me going. Y'all getting me crunk up in here. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Moonlight.
Oh, see, you touched on Lilith, but we still have one more series, and y'all know what's yet to come up out of that one. So, some of y'all don't know about Lilith, but y'all gonna learn about her.
Y'all better learn about.
Y'all better know who the originator and the original was. And the reason that she's left out and demonized is because, like she said, she would not submit to Adam. She wouldn't. She would not submit or conform to anything. Isn't that just like us? When we begin to rise up and come into our powers and come into who the hell we are, will we submit to anything? I know the hell I'm not. I don't submit to anything except for self. And I fight self on that at times. But we went a little further down the path than what we should. So we're going to get back down to Athena. Now, I know you guys are sitting here like, okay, she was birthed out of her father's pineal gland, and she's the goddess of this, and she's the goddess of that. But where's she petty at? Athena turned a weaver named Arachnia into a spider after she insulted her. Do you get the level of petty where she's going, where we going with this? And there's more depths to her level of petty. How many times have you been insulted, violated, angered, annoyed, infuriated, enraged, or just simply sitting there because someone believes that they have these delusions of grandeur and they have no awakening and they know not who they tangle with? So God is, you start sitting there and you decide, I should be petty and do something just because I can. And a lot of times you talk yourself out of it. Oh no, let me not do that. God is, it's in your DNA. The petty just didn't come from nowhere. So, as I said in the beginning, a lot of us, we get too righteous to do certain things. We start bringing the church mentality over to the left-hand side with us, and we got to walk upright and straight. And no, you can't do that for fear of consequence. See, in that sentence right there, the fear of consequence. Who designs and designates and who makes your laws and bylaws? You do. So you make the laws and bylaws to what is a violation to you. See, I spoke on this before. You make those laws and bylaws. So there is no right or wrong in what you do. So if in your bylaws and laws you say, if this happens, I will do this, and doing this is being petty, then by all means, God is, be petty. Now I'm going to pass the mic over to the Oracle Goddess Ja, because I feel her. She ready to say, she ready to speak, she ready to go, she ready to go.
Peace and love, family. You know what? This touched on so many points because I have a daughter named Sophia. Okay? You think that's a coincidence? Emphatically not. You know Lily in the Valley? Lily in the Valley, bright as the morning star, right? And then Athena was birthed from the pineal gland. That's in correlation to your seventh chakra, which is where everything comes and goes through. There's over 1,000 rose petals that's in this chakra. So she is called the goddess of wisdom. So is Lilith, and she is associated with being demon, right? And that's all. See, when you know hell and when you know heaven, that's when you wise. You're not wise no other way. You don't become wise until you embrace the hell of you. And when you get to the heaven of you, you're not wise just because you're not tapping into your lower desires. What the hell you mean? You're not wise. You because you petty doesn't take away from the fact that you're wise. It's grafted. You see, the sister said it's in your DNA. So if somebody come for me, like I say, off with your motherfucking head, and I'm gonna sit down and behind my closed doors, and I know that you come for me, and I'm gonna make sure that something gonna happen, because see, I get petty like that with the audacity for you to come for me. That's because Athena is in my DNA. See, also, I want to make it known that all you women, all you brothers that say I ain't have no mom. My mama abandoned me. I was given up for adoption. My mother died in childbirth. Whatever the case was, my mother didn't love me. Oh my goodness, Athena is your mama. Oh my goodness, look what came from a person. Look who didn't have no mama. But she transmuted that energy and made herself the mother of wisdom without nobody to teach her but what the tools that she had. She was birthed from the pineal gland. That means all 1,000 petals, all 1,000 spirits, all 1,000 chakras, all 1,000 systems, all 1,000 dimensions, all aspects of you come into you and become your mother. You don't need no mother to be a goddamn goddess. Do you understand who you are? Do you understand that just because we was born into a certain way and things happen. We was a victim of some things that prepared you to be the mother of wisdom. My mother's out there that's saying, you know what, my mama treated me like shit. Oh, but look at here, you got a mama. You got that cosmic mother that's looking after you. You got the one that came straight from all aspects of when you go to your crown chakra, and sometimes we take pictures of auras and we looking at things and we see that all things is coming in through the crown. Look at that light coming in through the crown. You are birthed from the place. Your mother is the person that houses all aspects of knowledge, infinite knowledge, wisdom, all dimensions, all things is your mother, and is running to your aid to say, look, I understand the problems that you had. I understand how you got through the birth canal. I understand that your mama may have called you this and called you that and hated you and tried to abort you during the process. I know that they wanted to kill you and dropped you in a toilet, and they dropped you in a trash can, and they gave you up for adoption. But I'm here to say to you, they couldn't keep you because you wasn't born to them. You was born to the mother of the cosmic agenda. What kind of, you are so precious. You don't got no mama. Yes, you do. Everything that's in the universe is coming together to be your mama. Come on, my goddess Athenas that's out there. Come on, y'all. Adjust your crown and don't allow that part of you. Don't allow the tricks of the matrix and to make you sing a song called Woe Is Me. I didn't have no mama. My mama treated me like this. My mama was this way. Oh no, that shouldn't stop your God consciousness. That shouldn't stop the fact that you can move and shake, because the seventh chakra, everybody always talking about the seventh chakra, which is associated to the pineal gland, and which is associated to the sweet ambrosia that is pumped from the sacral chakra, pumped up, shot up, and processed through your chakras and fed to the gods. You are birthed from the place of the cleansing of the sweet water that has to come from you. Do you understand who you are? No excuses. No excuses. See, Athena said, you know what, I came through all of this. I was born. Everything came together to give birth to me. So you know what, when you have these circumstances and situations, my sister wasn't supposed to be here. My mom tools was tied. My mother almost transitioned, and so did my sister. But she had a bigger agenda. See, Athena said, honey, we your mama. You got to be here, Imani Smith. We your mama. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it doesn't, see, the fact that you are in human form is the only way you can be a goddess. Don't get it twisted, see? And what is happening is, those goddesses that was called on by the slave time, or by the times before that when we ruled, is you today. That's you. So step and keep them crowns on, because it doesn't matter if you got a mama or if you don't. In the physical, you always have had a mother. You decided to come here because your mother said, your cosmic mother said, baby, I got you. And all you got to do is tap into your memory. All you got to do is remember from whence you came. I got you. I'm cradling you in the arms of the cosmos. I'm nurturing you. I'm running to your aid. I'm giving you everything that you need. It doesn't matter how downtrodden they may treat you. I want you to remember who and from what you came from.
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, I told y'all she was ready to go. See, I be feeling her. She be ready to go. Now, I want to also touch on something as well. See, she's the goddess of courage as well. So you can't be no punk. None of the goddesses we have brought to you in this series have been punks by a long shot. They had no fear. And see, that's something that we have to learn to die to, is the fear. And I'm also going to go a little away for a second. Sometimes you got to learn when to get petty and when to take your hands off of situations. Because sometimes you want to be the nurturer and the protector for the wrong reasons. You think it's the right reason, but it's the wrong reasons. But see, this goddess shows us that while she is petty, Betty, for real, because we ain't even tell you the tip of the iceberg yet on how petty she can get. Remember, as Ja just said, that does not take away from her wisdom, her strength, her purpose, her calling, her destiny. Petty does not mean dumb. But see, in order for you to get to this level where petty becomes your second nature, when it's called for, sometimes even when it's not, just because. You, my dear, will be operating in your courage and your fearlessness. See, you can't be so worried about consequences. And see, I said this on a video one time before, and I'm going to keep saying this. If someone does not have mercy for you, why should you have mercy for them? No mercy is allowed. See, we brought this warrior goddess here. See, the warrior goddess series was laid upon me, not only because it is something that I personally have been going through, it is because it is a side that we want to deny, because we don't believe that we are the ones that have the strength. We don't want to believe that we are the strength behind the muscle. Because we've been so programmed to be deprogrammed from the programming. And now that you open your eyes and you began to look around, and that 1,000-petal lotus flower is wide open and bloom on top of your crown, and your pineal is twinkling, wide open, you began to look different, walk different, talk different. But see, this goddess series was brought here for you, because a lot of times you're told to go to a male God for your help. In this age, there is still a disacknowledgement of the divine feminine. There is still an aspect of sit down, shut up, and be quiet and pretty. And see, a lot of the popularized deities are glorified for just their sexual energy and their beauty. Or you get told of polygamous situations that they were in. But we taking you way beyond all of that. We taking you to the origin, baby. Seraphinix, is there anything that you want to say about Athena before we move on to Medusa? Because see, I know Athena got real petty, but I feel that the petty that she went to is best suited for the next goddess. But if you want to touch upon that, by all means, the floor is yours, goddess.
Thank you, goddess. I appreciate that. The thing about Athena, that she ruled the city of Athens, Greece. That's where they got their name from. Her temple still stands in ruins to this day. It's the Parthenon. It still stands. If you ever get an opportunity to go to Athens, go to the Parthenon, and you will feel her energy. She's still there. She was a principality over that city, and she was their patron. The thing that about her that just touched on what you were saying is she's a fierce and a ruthless warrior. You got to find your ruthlessness somewhere. Most of the times when you see pettiness is because something was done to that goddess. Something was done to offend. Something, and you have to learn how to stand up. We are taught passiveness through the matrix. We're taught passivity and being passive aggressive, and don't, and forgive your enemies and love them. And if they slap you on one cheek, turn your other cheek so they can slap the other side. No. Those days are over with. It's time to stand up. It's time to not to take shit. And it's time to deal it back. When it's dealt to you, give it back to them. Give them back that energy. And there's nothing wrong with getting a little revenge if it's justified. You're not harming the innocent, right? You're harming somebody that's harmed you. You have the right to stand up for yourself. That's what every movement has been in the natural. Every movement in the 3D that's happened since some of our ancestors came over here. All of those movements was about self-defense, protecting self, survival. The thing about Athena is that she was unforgiving. And we're about to get into Medusa. And what you need to understand about Medusa is that she was a high priestess in Athena's temples. And her beauty was unrivaled. She was the youngest of 3 daughters. She was a demigod. She wasn't quite a goddess. One of her parents was a titan and the other one was a god. Her beauty was unmatched. And she served in Athena's temple. Now, Athena was considered a virgin goddess because she was about her business. She wasn't about mating. She wasn't looking for a god. She was looking to win wars. She was looking to build heroes. She wasn't looking for a mate. So she was considered one of the virgin goddesses. And not that she expected her priestesses to be virgins as well, but she expected them to be fierce. And she expected them to fight. Medusa, while serving in the temples, was raped by the god Poseidon. Athena, in her anger, turned her and her sisters into gorgons. The snake beings, made them into monsters. Come on, Rah. Let's get into Medusa.
You've already gotten into Medusa. So let's see. Medusa, whose name also means queen and ruler, as she stated, she is part God, part mortal. She was not immortal, she was mortal. Okay, and her two sisters were the ones that were immortal. Now, her beauty was also her weapon. Okay, she used her beauty against others. Now, see, when she got raped and she was cursed and turned into the Gorgon, the hex upon her was that of which we hear. You turn to stone. Now, if that's not petty, I don't know what petty is. But see, here's the thing. While she is not a god, she's a powerful entity. She's not exactly the goddess, but she is a powerful entity. And she still will come through for you. See, I know some of you are wondering why. Why is this so important? And we keep harping on it and we keep trying to drill it into your heads as to why it is important to know just how petty. It's because to acknowledge that we have goddesses that are petty. Think about it, ladies. Let's take the rape off the table for a second and let's put it into something that's less violent and more relatable. Your man is sleeping with another woman. Instead of you being mad at the man, a lot of times you mad at the goddess. So you mad at the female. You feel insulted. You feel betrayed. But insulted and betrayed by who? What do? You seek vengeance on the female. You seek your vengeance and set your eyes on her. Now see, understand that by no means am I telling you to do that. But by all means am I telling you that the level of petty is not something that you just thought of. It's not something that just came to you one day. Petty, while it is looked at as, I guess you could say, something that would be considered bad to this realm. Petty, when you think of it, is more of a defense. It's a reaction to an action. And it's a call to action. So you don't just wake up and just do things to people. Some people do, but you don't just wake up and do things to people just for no reason. There's a hurt. There's a violation that occurs. There are times and situations where petty is the only way. And just exactly what is petty? Some people say it's doing stuff to people for no reason just because you can. But see, the reason we're calling them the petty goddesses is because they dug down into that bag. You know, that bag everybody says they get into when things happen, I'm in my bag. They dug down in that bag and they pulled out and they tossed out with not one care given, not one second thought, not a piece of hesitation. The bylaw was set and the law was written and the violation occurred. So the reaction to the action, while it may have been a bit extreme, called for that pettiness. Now, as she said, Athena expected her priestess to be fierce and to fight. So let's stay there for a second. That was the expectation. That was the law. Be fierce and fight. When she found out that she didn't fight, there was consequence for it. But see, Poseidon was the lover of Athena, even though she was the virgin. He was her man. And see, Athena felt as though, besides her not fighting, just go into your womanhood for a second, knowing that Medusa used her beauty, that maybe she enticed him. That's why she didn't fight. So that violation, as far as she was concerned, was from both of them. Now you see why we combined these two together? Why we had to speak on Medusa and Athena? Because Athena's most pettiest move was towards Medusa. But now don't go thinking that Medusa was no punk. She's far from it. And I'm going to pass the mic over to the Oracle Goddess Ja and let Ja break down some of these attributes of Medusa.
Peace
Go
and
ahead.
love, family. You know what? It's something that you touched on, beloved goddess, Moonlight Rah. Because we go through this today. You know, it's nothing wrong with being petty, but you know what? I'm going to use myself as an example. Here I am, as beautiful as I am, right? I'm so beautiful. We going to say I'm Medusa, okay? Because I love her. That's my ace boon coon, right? I'm so beautiful and so fine, and that my beauty stops traffic. And the fact that I'm a badass witch on top of that. And plus, I love my team. I support the God. Y'all know how I get down. And then you have these women that see me and they may have an eye for the God or wonder what they want to wonder in their minds, right? And then you just start coming at me, right? You just start coming at me, or a sister from anywhere, right? You see a sister and you see a sister moving along, minding her business, and there's a discrepancy with your God or your king, and the object of your anger goes against the sister. Earlier, we were talking about how much of a bridge there is, or a gap between women, not only women of all races, but women in the Black community. That there's so much that we have against each other, right? And that's also a reason that my beloved sister decided to do this series, Rise of the Warrior Goddesses, to show people and to show everybody that we can be in the same platform and we can all be alpha females and we can all be women of the same equal manner and get along. We can work through our differences. See, Medusa, the fact that even the story goes that when they cut off her head, she still wasn't dead. They had to use her head to freeze people. That's the symbolism in this is huge, because things that you may be teaching to people or things that you say to people, and when it's coming from a place of your heart, the words that you say, the attributes that you hold, the beauty and the manner that you process things, the fact that it's coming from your heart, that it's coming from you. People are able to use your words to stop that energy. People still have to think about you and what you said to stop the energy that's in them. People have to reflect on, you know what, I remember this sister, I remember she used to tell me this, and all I had to do was listen to stop the energy that's causing the chaos in your life. Medusa is a triple black goddess. The snakes, the snakes are not just snakes and not just locks, but they also, you know, snakes are wise. There's a way that they move. Snakes represent the Kundalini energy. So all of the beauty is associated with all sources that she pulled from to be who she is. And the fact that even in death, or even when they thought they cut her head off, she still had to be used to bring down the biggest of giants, the biggest of monsters. They had to use her eyes, so the story goes, to stop them dead in their tracks. Because along with everything else, the purity of where everything comes from stops things in their tracks with you. So it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter who's going on. It doesn't matter what's happening. Just be true to yourself. Always be true to yourself. And don't forget to praise yourself. Remember to praise yourself.
Yes, Ja. And see, Ja just touched on something that was personal for me. See, before the last series went out and went up, Kali came to me. And I asked her what she was here for, and she told me. But when I asked her how to honor her, she told me to honor myself. See, in honoring yourself, you honor them because they are a part of you. And we keep speaking on the beauty of Medusa. And see, she's a symbol of exceeding beauty, but she's also a symbol of rage. She also represents the powerful and repressed. Doesn't that sound a lot like how you were in your 3D? Powerful, yet repressed, restricted. You repressed a lot of stuff in the 3D because you were taught to repress that. Women aren't supposed to be angered. We're supposed to be soft-spoken. We're supposed to sit at home and take care of the kids in the house and not get out there and do anything for ourselves. We can't do anything for ourselves. And while we know there is balance and we know that we do need a God, and the God does play an important role, we still fight with that repressed side of ourselves. And see, as she said, all of us goddesses on this panel, we come to you to show you, to be the examples We bear ourselves to you, as she said, when you're being true to you, pure to yourself, giving of your heart, people will see that. They cleave to that. I also want to touch on with Medusa. Being that she was not immortal, she was made immortal. Now you see, through that petty hex of hers, out of the curse became a gift. She became a powerful weapon, able to be used. The beauty she once used against others now became a weapon, to where, as Josh said, when her head was cut off, she was still alive and being used as a weapon, a powerful instrument. So what does that represent? What does that tell you? That no matter your situation, they can cut your head off and you still will live on. You still will be a powerful goddess. You still will be the weapon. See, we as goddesses, we are often the secret weapon. They never see us coming. We are the right hand of the God. And in being the right hand to the God, that makes you the silent hitter to the left of him, so to speak. Wolves, the female, will place her head underneath the neck of her male mate to appear as if she is scared. She's actually protecting his neck. I'm going to bring in Goddess Imani. Imani, you have the mic.
Okay, this is wonderful. See, I love this. I love Medusa. And I want to touch on something that the goddess Chari just said. You know, I see it also from another side. How people will come to you, cut your head off, and still need to use you. They cut her head off in an attempt to kill her and belittle her. But in the same instance, they needed to use her as a weapon. Look at how people do you. Look at how some people, you know, it's been relationships like that. Where somebody was mistreating you. He treating you like crap. But every time something happens, you're the first person he run to. It's the same thing. And also I want to say another thing. You know, they started showing Medusa as this evil woman who was petty, who just turned men into stone. That's not how it happened. See, in her curse, as the goddess said, she was given a gift. So when you came at her neck, boom, you were turned into stone. So I want to say to you, don't try to think there's rules to this petty. Don't think you can come for my neck and my pettiness won't surpass your pettiness and I've dead your ass. Because you might go for the wrong person. Because you're assuming your petty is greater. No. Once you come for the neck, there are no rules to this war. See, you thought my petty was your petty. But little did you know, my petty will take you out. So you have to think about that when you're coming at people. Think about that when you're coming at goddesses. Goddess, think about that when you're going at the next goddess. Because people tell me all the time, my mouth is like a sword. The words I say can kill. You might think you said some little hurtful, petty things to me, but then I say something that make you rethink your whole life. And I know I'm going to kill you with it. But you just tested my petty. And by all means, I will protect myself. I no longer have to protect your neck. But I also want to say that it's easier if we just love on each other, goddesses. Uplift one another, goddesses. Your beauty ain't got nothing to do with my beauty. Your gifts ain't got nothing to do with my gifts. I am still beautiful and gifted, as my goddesses on this panel with me are beautiful and gifted. Being a goddess, Chari, we be on the phone talking. Like, yeah, girl, let's make this, let's make that. How about you come up with this idea? We could make the same thing, and I'm still going to share it on my page because A has nothing to do with B, because I know I'm powerful in my own right. So I ain't going to hurt by sharing my sister's stuff. I want y'all to get her stuff because her power doesn't lessen my power, and my power doesn't lessen hers. It's in love that I do this. It's in love that we talk to one another. It's in love that we get on and we say, girl, make this. Child, make that. Oh, you should do this. It's out of love. So we can all come up together. Stop feeling like your light gonna be dim or your shine is gonna go away if you help elevate, or if you show off, or if you even give a compliment to another goddess. Stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back over to the goddess Moonlight.
Absolutely. And I just want to say this. See, if you combine the power, you combine the powers, you have an even more powerful tool. There's times that we get on the phone, as she said, and we have the same idea. Or we creating and create something very similar to one another, or the exact same thing, because we just that tapped in and tuned in to one another. Ain't no animosity. It's an understanding of my power and a respect of her power. And see, we need to stop this letting division happen between us. Because see, this story of this pettiness opened up the gate for us to talk about, how we allow the male counterpart, the God, to divide the goddess community. When we began to empower one another, and we began to comfortably compliment one another, and I don't mean just by saying you are beautiful. What I mean by compliment is, you know how they say, oh, your woman compliments you, your man compliments you. It means they're a good look for you. When we start realizing, when we're united, that we are a great look, and when we are united and we are vibrating on one frequency, that we are power. If we took 1,000 women and stood them around a river and they all meditated at the same time on one concentrated thought, do you know the power of manifestation that would occur? Again, this is taking nothing away from the gods, but this is about the goddesses. And the goddess community has to be uplifted. It has to become a sisterhood once again. And on this left-hand path, there is way too many division, too much division still. That's 3D thinking. 3D thinking divides us by class of income, by what they call races, but I call it a classification of people. It divides us up by how smart your level of education in their system is. Single mothers versus married mothers. Baby mamas battling wives. Single mother in the suburbs versus a single mother in the hood. The division. But see, even as Goddess Imani said, when she was divided from her body, they still wanted to use her. But being divided from the body, let's go there for a second. Isn't that what we are? When we come into our light selves, aren't we divided from the body and we become the head above the body, because the head represents the pineal and the crown, right? So the light body rests in the pineal and the crown, right? It is at that moment when the crown opens and the pineal is wide open that the light body is activated. So it's from the head. I'm going to pass the mic over to Seraphinix. She has anything else that she wants to touch on Medusa? On Medusa, Seraphinix. Medusa.
Medusa. Medusa. She has a lot of different legends. There's a lot of different legends about her. They also, history says that Medusa is the mother of snakes, and that she blessed the continent of Africa after she had to run from her pursuers, that she spent time on the continent of Africa, bequeathing them with snakes. And this is why there's so many snakes in Africa. But she, you know, her story, they like to make her a symbol of scorned and despised women, unable to love or to be loved. But wasn't it love which caused her to go into this pain that she had? She loved Athena. She dedicated her life to serve Athena. And because she didn't fight a god that she had no ability to fight, she was turned into this creature that was weaponized and used in the battles of men. But the way you guys touched on it, woo, this is just some good meat that y'all are serving on this good evening. Just good meat there, Rah.
We all serving this meat. Like, we all got our hands and our feet in this pot right now. So y'all better eat this up. Y'all better get this good food, this good soul food for you right here. The next goddess we're going to speak on is Morgan. Morgan. However you choose to say her name, just make sure you say her name properly with the proper respect. Okay? Morgan represents one of the three triple goddesses of the Celtic. Yes, honey. Morgan represents one of the goddesses of the Celtic, of the witch. I'll go as far as to say of the occult. She reps the circle of life, birth, death. Her name translates to great queen. I'm going to pass this over to Ja. Give me 1 second, y'all. Ja.
Yes. So, Morgan, you know, Goddess Morgan is a very, you ever watch The Majesty of a Stallion? A beautiful, beautiful horse. The mane is beautiful. The entire horse is beautiful. And you can watch it as it, you know, the agility in a lion. The fact that it just knows what it knows and it doesn't need permission to know who and what it is. It just moves and glides. Or the strength of a tide. The ocean doesn't need permission to be the ocean. It just knows what it does. This is Morgan. And Morgan, she moves, she reminds me of just like, I seen something that said, somebody said faster than the speed of light. And then somebody said that darkness is even faster. The speed of darkness is triple times faster than the speed of light. And it's the origin of where all light comes from. That's Morgan. Morgan love hard. When she sees somebody, she want them. She have her eye on something. She wants it. And she's going to become whatever it is that she needs to become to gain that thing. She has a laser focus. Morgan, more again, Morgan. She is petty because Morgan said, hold up, I'm going to do everything I need to do to show you that it's you that I want. And you ignoring me. I'm going to show you who I am and you're ignoring me. How you going to ignore me? You putting everybody to the side and you ignoring me? Wait a minute, hold up. I become an animal. See, Morgan is a shapeshifter. She is the queen of the goddess of ravens. See, yes, Morgan, she's in my heart. She become whatever she need to become. Doesn't that sound like us? We have our eyes on something or our eyes on somebody, and we become what we think we need to become for that person to get them to love us. And then when it doesn't go our way, we want to destroy their ass. What you mean? Excuse me, hold up. I did everything. I'm doing everything, and you're not gonna see me. She doesn't hold no prisoners. She is vengeful. She is vindictive. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, damn right. She is on the petty list because she's high on the petty scale. She don't care. But see, you know what I gained from understanding Morgan? That she'll give you everything. You know, I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, and you know how a lot of us on the left-hand path, a lot of people don't know how to take us. They look at us like, because we're so assertive and we're so, we're such alphas, most of us. We're such goddesses that we have to be that way, that the minute we allow somebody in, we give them everything. We want to make sure that they're good. That's how we are. You see us four? That's how we treat each other. We want to make sure that everybody good. We want to make sure you okay, you need something. Let me send you a gift. People send gifts and, we be loving on each other, always want to send gifts. That's what we do. That's Morgan. She didn't care what she had to do. And she was still denied and she was still turned away. And it hurt her. How many Morgans are out there? How many try to do anything and everything to please a man and even deny who they really are to please whomever? You start to talk like somebody, act like somebody else, just because you want to be somebody else. But see, Morgan didn't deny how vindictive she can be. She didn't keep that on the down. She didn't say, no, I'm not that way. She was like, yep, I am. I'm petty. I'm vindictive. I was tried, so this is me. All what I'm saying to you is, she holds a lot. And the fact that she was hurt by her lover or the fact that she was hurt by the one that she loved, she started to move differently. She started to see things in the eyes of all things. She shapeshifts. Shapeshifting doesn't mean that you just turn different shapes. You gain different perspectives instead of your own perspective, which isn't the reality. The reality is by itself and alone. Your perspective is perspective. So Morgan, in her evolution, started to see things from all perspectives. See, when you begin to see things from all perspectives, that's when you become free. Because you are not in no way trying to captivate another person, another God. It doesn't matter who and what they are. You allow them the ability to express the whole self that they are. And all you do is try to become the supreme you. That's Morgan. She's a shapeshifter. She could become whatever she wants now because she was able to see through eyes of others. So now you can become that. I could become my sister and try to look from her eyes at the situation. I can become my brother and try to look through the eyes from the eyes of the situation. I can go into the mind of the baby. I can look from the eyes of the animal. I can try to understand what the wind is, what the plants and the trees are saying to me. That's freedom. That's Morgan.
Absolutely.
Lord, go ahead.
Total unapologetic freedom. Yes. And see, she's also, as she said, she's the goddess of rage, but she's the goddess of magic, priestess, prophecy, night, and as I said, witches. She's part of that Celtic, that full moon, and those two crescent moons facing east and west. But it's whole in the middle. Two halves equal a whole. See, as Ja was speaking on the shape-shifting of Morgan, what began to come to me as she was talking about becoming shape-shifting to get whatever it is that you want, like shape-shifting to become whatever it is that God needs for you to get him. A song popped in my head, and a lot of us know it because a lot of us know this artist. And it was a song by Mary J. Blige. And what she was saying in the song was, can't you see what I've been going through? Because I want to be with you. The changes I've been going through. And she's saying in the background, don't you want to be with me? See, that's how we all were. See, people don't realize how far shape-shifting goes. Shape-shifting isn't, like she said, just turning into shapes and animals. Shape-shifting is when you alter your appearance. Like I'm rocking my afro tonight with my locks still on the side. Yes, it is still there, honey. But see, I'll shape-shift on you and change my appearance. I might come on here with a fire red afro or some fire red braids or some bright blue, whatever. That's all a form of shape-shifting. When you alter anything of you, it's shape-shifting. And we all know how to shape-shift because we've been doing it. As goddesses, we constantly shapeshift. What do you think a makeover is when these women have been the same way for years and decades? And then they go and get this makeover. No, they got shapeshifted. But see, with Morgan being the one, aside from her shapeshifting over the witches and the priestesses, that means that if you are a witch, a priestess, you are Morgan. You carry her with you. Morgan becomes you. You become Morgan. Morgan is the goddess over that. She's the goddess of magic. You can't claim to do magic and not have a relationship with Morgan. You can, but you will not come into your supremacy. You can perform magic, but your magic will not be as potent. So let me correct myself on that, because I'm being chastised for what I just said. You can, but it will not reach its height of potency without Morgan. I'm going to hand this over to Imani, the Shamanic Goddess.
Oh, Morgan. So I know that when I was reading up on her, looking into her, it said that she was the goddess of birds. Mm-hmm. See, they like to say just this bird, but no, it wasn't just ravens. It was crows, it was vultures, it was owls. The goddess of birds. And sometimes when they depict her with the head of an owl or the head of a raven. And that her breast milk not only fed and nourished the living, but that it regenerated the dead. You understand that? Mm-hmm. So when they were living, she fed that living part of them so that they can grow and be nurtured. But when they were in that state of death, she used that same milk to regenerate them. Mm-hmm. You know, it's been times that we've had people in our lives who didn't want to be on that deathbed, dead in their minds, dead in their souls, dead in their emotions, dead in their spirituality. They were there, they wanted to be free, but just didn't know how. But as women, sometimes we tend to bring people back from that death state as goddesses. When they're on that bed, when life ain't going right. Have you ever noticed when a god gets with a true goddess? He can be in a certain state of being, but then you see him about 3 or 4, 5 months later, and they're like, bro, what happened to you? It was that breast milk that happened. Because it was life in that death, but he was too trapped to bring it out himself. So the goddess, in all her goddess ability, helped to regenerate that life force that was already there, fed it until the heart started to beat a little louder. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, God, you know who you are. Come on, God, you can do this. You don't feel good? Let me fix you something to eat. What you doing on this low vibration, God? Come on up here. So nourishment and regeneration all in one. And sometimes when they depict her with 3 lines because she is a triple goddess. And she had that triple goddess energy. So that's why they show her like that as well. I'm going to go ahead and give it back over to the goddess Chari.
Peace and love. Thank you for that, Imani. Now, Morgan is also over the waters. She looks after the waters, the fresh waters. She looks over the fresh waters. She looks over the rivers, and she looks after the lakes. She looks over that. That tells you the nourishment waters, the waters of life, the waters of life. If she nourishes the living and rejuvenates or regenerates the dead, and she looks over the waters. What I'm getting from that is that Morgan, see, when you come on this left-hand path, she's with you in your life, and she's with you when you go into your death. That death that we die to self, she's there. And those deaths that we die to self, in those moments, we need rejuvenation. And in those moments, she is there. And after we've come back from that death that we've died, she's still there, giving us nourishment. That's a mother. She's the mother. She's a mother. I'm going to pass this over to Seraphinix. Seraphinix, go in on.
Morgan is all of the things that you guys described, but she is also a tribal and territorial goddess. Her association is with the land itself, with the rulership and the protection of the lands. She's a Celtic goddess, so that means that she's Irish. She's known as the goddess of battle, heroes, and the dead. She entices the heroes towards glory in battle. So she is an encourager, just like the goddess Chari said. The goddess Moonlight Rah said that she's a mother. Just as we take our sons and our daughters and we encourage them and we make them all that they can be, this is what Morgan is, and this is what she has been. She also appears as a sexual figure that offers victory and prophetic aid to her chosen war leader. She only fucks with the top guys. She don't mess with no punks at all, because she's no punk in and of herself. She gives prophetic pronouncements of victory or of doom on the eve of decisive battles. And she announces the victories and the tales of the great deeds afterwards. So she's also, not only is she the goddess of witches, she's the goddess of prophecy. And we all know that that ties into being close with the land, having a close association with nature and all that's around us. It opens you up and you can hear and feel and see. And that's how you grow. And that's how you be able to flow prophetically, is when you're in tune with all that's around you. And we live in such a world that keeps us busy so that we don't have time to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. We don't have time to stop and appreciate the beauty and all that's around us, because it's there. Even in the cities that we live in, there's still beauty all around us. And we have to take that time to stop and appreciate that beauty. Get a little time for self and be able to grow in our visions. We can call on Morgan and ask her for help in our prophetic and in our crafts. She's available. Just because she's from Ireland and we may be American, and you might be an Indigenous American, or you might be from Africa, or whatever the case might be, African American, you can still call upon any of these goddesses from any region. And you can expect to get the help that you're looking for. That energy resides in you. You can call it up anytime you're ready. And this is what I've learned throughout all of this series that you've been running. Man, it's about getting into self. It's about tapping in. And one way we can do that is by taking a moment to ourselves and appreciating all that's around us. I'm going to pass this over to Ja, because I can feel that she got something more to say about the Raven Queen, the goddess, Morgan.
You know, the goddess Morgan, she houses the elements in her hands. All of them. Water, air, the goddess of birds, earth, that's nature, right? Fire, she's an artist of war. That's 4 sides. That's tapping into the crossroads. That's going into what that means. And that number 4 is a feminine number. That's balance. That's a magnetic pull. Water is magnetic. She's the queen, the mother of all birds. So look at it. She's able, that's flying above any situation. It doesn't matter what comes. She is the master. She knows about war and fighting. She is the goddess of witches, the craft, and priestesses. So everything that you master, she is the god of on the left-hand path. Do you hear this? When you master all aspects of yourself, you meet Morgan with each level of mastery. When we become initiated into a priest or a priestess, a high priest or a high priestess, you meet Morgan. When you're practicing your craft and you're trying to figure out what herbs to use, you're using any type of divination in your craft, meet Morgan. When you're trying to please the gods and you recognize that the God is a God, and you recognize that indeed there's a team, meet Morgan. When you're crying and you're going through things because you know what? I'm trying to be all that I can be to you. Will you not notice me? Meet Morgan. This means that she is master hell and heaven and everything in between. Because she is free. And when you are free and you are able to allow yourself to evolve every single day, you become God. And you can call on the strength of the goddesses to assist you. I mean, Chari, I really want to thank you. This series has helped me to evolve more every time that I am learning more about by studying, because see, what people need to know that you put a lot into this. We study, we look things up, and then by looking it up, you automatically tap into the frequency. When you acknowledge the frequency, you tap into it. It doesn't matter what it is. So every time we doing this, we are all becoming Morgan. We are all becoming Medusa. We are all becoming Athena. We are all understanding each side of us, how we can evolve on each side of us, and we can call on something, an entity to help us through the process. This is a beautiful, beautiful series for the goddesses, and a beautiful, beautiful attribute of the rise of the matriarch and the rise of the warrior goddesses. That we don't have to be quiet and submissive, even though we can, but we can elegantly and beautifully raise war and raise hell. And we're good at it. We're good at it.
Absolutely, Ja. And I want to thank each and every one of you, because without the energy of the 3 of you combining to the 4 of us, this energy flow that we have going here, it wouldn't have been the same. It could have been one person telling all of this and, it would have been received. But to be the examples, to be the ones of nourishment, to be of Morgan, giving y'all this milk, feeding y'all. This is what is so needed. And with each goddess that we have spoke upon in these series, if you don't see any of these goddesses in you, then where have you been? Where are you? Who are you? And what are you? Because each goddess was carefully selected for this series. We as a collective sat down and agreed we did not want to speak on, and it's no disrespect to Oshun. We did not want to speak on Yamaya, Mayat. We didn't want to speak on any of those. We purposely selected the goddesses that we selected to open you up and expand you into more of who and what you are. What is in your DNA code? What is it that is whispering to you? See, when we in situations and we're going through certain things, and I say through, not in, not stuck, going through certain things, we hear whispers in the wind. We feel things in our DNA begin to ignite. And until we become aware of all that we carry within us as goddesses, we don't know what it is. But in this series, the intent is for you to get a little closer to yourself. This is about self-supremacy, self-preservation, self-elevation, self first, everything else second. That is a law and bylaw in my life. And while I will admit to you at times, because I am a mother, it does get hard to stick to that self first and everything else second law for myself. It is a law and a way and a right that you have. No longer do you have to sit down. No longer do you have to be scared to use your voice. No longer do you have to second guess any aspect of you. Because for every aspect of you, there is a goddess. And prior to even getting into this series, there were only gods that I can relate to. Masculine energy. But see, we coming out of that age of masculine energy. As we do the change of guards from masculine to feminine energy, it is imperative that as a goddess, you know just exactly who you are. In a day and age where a goddess is looked down upon, how dare you? How dare you be bold enough, courageous enough to walk in your true divinity? How dare you unapologetically be you? How dare you have dignity and class in all that you do? How dare you dare to be on the left-hand path? See, we in the age of judgment, and they've never quite stopped degrading us. They've never quite stopped putting us down, keeping us shackled and bound. So in this Rise of the Warrior Goddess series, it is a rise of self. It is a call. It is a call to off with their heads with not one fuck given. It is a call to awaken every part of you to operate in your totality. I want to thank my sister goddesses. We have one more, y'all. One more next week. But I want to thank my goddesses, my sisters, for coming up here, the lionesses of the den of Alchemy Temple, for putting their time, their energy, and their hearts, and pouring a piece of them into this message. The intent is for you to be nourished and fed. Catch these gems and place them in your crown. And I'm going to let Jah close it out.
Peace and love, family. Peace and love. It was a delight. I'm moved every time we go through a series because a piece of me opens up, and this is an infinite process of, going into the God consciousness of our soul, tapping into who we are. So I just want to say that backed by popular demand, the summer solstice ritual will resume on Wednesday after Wet Witch Wednesdays. So the event will be put out. We will have the summer solstice ritual. There are some people inquiring about it, so Dr. Haru has decided to bring it back on Wednesday, okay? And it's $33 just to participate. No, I'm sorry for that one. That's a different one. The total price is $43.33 for the summer solstice ritual. And there is a plethora of things that you're going to gain going into each aspect of the year and the process of when to stay in and when to go out. It's so much that's going to be covered during the process of this summer solstice ritual. We're still in the good months of that, and it'll be a nice ritual. The last ritual that we did was phenomenal through the temple. The new moon ritual was, breathtaking. We were buzzing for days. So you don't want to miss out on that ritual. So next, I want to inform you about the membership program. Is ready to be jump started. So, we have a membership program at Alchemy Temple. Dr. Haru is pleased to announce that you can become a member of the temple. And with your membership, there are some things that you receive. The memberships is $100. You could break up your hour. You have like hour, you could break it up in consultations. You can break it up in, maybe you need a reading for 15 minutes or you want to consult with someone. It's just so much that's coming with your reading. You get to participate in the rituals, that's a part of it. It's so much. So this is going to be jumped off on earliest Friday. You want to become a member, you'll be sent the application, and it's just $100 a month to be a part of the membership program at Alchemy Temple. Seraphinix, some more points that you can mention about the actual ritual and what they will get from, the membership. It's some more things that I'm sure I'm missing that they will get from the membership.
By joining Alchemy Temple and including yourself in a monthly membership, you will receive exclusive content. You will receive exclusive content from some of the courses that Dr. Haru does teach. You will receive 1 hour of a consultation that comes along with your membership. You can break it up into different minutes, and you don't have to just speak to one teacher. You will also be able to, there is a surprise that we have for our new members that want to come on and support Alchemy Temple in the best way that they can. We are starting a magazine, and you will get an exclusive copy for yourself of the Cosmic Agenda magazine from Alchemy Temple. You will have exclusive opportunity to get different products that are available, and you will learn so much. It's so much that you can get out of this membership without having to actually go through a training or go through a course, if you just want to support Alchemy Temple because you believe in what we teach and you believe in what Dr. Haru has built, then you go ahead and you sign up for this membership, because there's no way to show more support for Alchemy Temple than with the exchange of energy, which we have learned that is currency. Currency is a great form of expression of energy. If you will support Alchemy Temple with your membership, we do have very exclusive items that you will be able to get. We have a bunch of other things that we have planned for you guys. We just hope that you guys will sign up and show your support and your love for Dr. Heru. Show your love for Alchemy Temple through joining the membership program.
Yes. And so thank you so much for that, Goddess Seraphinix. The lineup, you know, of course, we had the dynamic Moonlight Rah, and I believe that she can go over the lineup and close us out, you know. And again, it was great hearing from you, and we will inform you of the membership. We'll have something to come out so that you can indeed sign up and get everything that we have in store for you for that. I'm excited about it because it's a new aspect to the Alchemy Temple and another part of our cosmic family. I'm just excited that we have this going on, and Dr. Haru is indeed excited about the fact that the membership is something that he birthed, and it's another aspect of Alchemy Temple that is indeed going to be starting on Friday. Launching.
Absolutely, y'all. Jump on that. Jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. The lineup for y'all. Tantra Tuesday with the Oracle Goddess JaMila. Tantra Tuesday, Zodiac Killers. She continues her series. On Wednesday, the Oracle Goddess is back again with Wet Witch Wednesday. Then you have the founder, the God and the Lion of Alchemy Temple, Dr. Haru, is there on Thursday with Take What You Want Thursday. Take what you want. And on Friday, he's back again with Frequency Friday. On Saturday, the 4 tag team divination, a divination tag team, excuse me. Dr. Haru, woo, that came out wrong. Dr. Haru, Oracle Jah, Goddess Imani, and myself give you the tag team readings. 2 intuitive, 2 tarot card. Get your slots now. It's a new week. 13 slots are available at the moment. You can do that through booking at alchemytemple.org. Well, you can book your slot at PayPal, booking at alchemytemple.org. If you need any of us, the price for that, for the Shamanic Saturdays, is no longer $33. Last week was your last chance to get it at $33. It's now $108. So book yours now before all slots are taken up. You do have the option to have it done privately as well and receive a copy of the tape for a little more. If you need any of us, I'm sorry, that is $128 for the private readings. If you need any of us to come out and speak at an event, it's booking at alchemytemple.org. Esoteric tools, alchemytemple.org. Any media work, hit up our media department at media@alchemytemple.org. Classes, soul body hygiene, tarot cards, sex magic, all of that. alchemytemple.org. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tapping in and tuning in to the cipher. May this be of nourishment to your spirit. And as always, go
If
ahead.
you need us, look to the cosmos and call out our name. And we just might say, what up, dog?
Peace, y'all.
Peace and love. Thank you for being a part of the cipher, and thank you for having patience with our technical difficulties.